Hello and welcome back to another episode of 10,000 Steps with Baby. Today, my co host is currently asleep on the sling on me. She is not in a good mood today. We will see how we get on with this. So, baby classes. Um, Now, I know for a lot of people, this is quite marmite of a topic. Like, you either love baby classes or you hate them, is my experience. But I love baby classes. I loved getting out of the house. I loved having a sort of structure to my day by having something booked in. I loved talking to other mums and adults as part of my day. And I was just obsessed from the start. So I took James, my now 3 year old, when he was 9 days old, to a music slash massage class. And I have no idea why I did that. He was completely oblivious throughout. I think he just slept through it as they do. Um, I have no idea why everyone else there was much older, obviously. But yeah, I liked it. And after that, I signed up for everything I could find. So I did a class every day. I did music classes, baby swimming, baby massage, baby yoga, baby sign language. Plus, I did loads of the random, like, one off classes that you get. So we did messy play, Halloween, Easter special ones. So I've done it all. And I've signed up to do it all again with my daughter. So, one of the main problems I had with baby classes, as I said in my previous episode, was that the only way my son would sleep when he was a baby was if he was being pushed in a pram. The only other time he would sleep was if I had paid £7 to attend one of these classes. And I spent loads of classes sitting there with like an awkward smile on my face while James just slept on my lap or in the car seat. And if I tried to leave, he would, of course, wake up. The minute the class finished, he would wake up. And a couple of times I tried to wake him up uh, from his nap to do the class. And of course, that led to a complete breakdown, both, for him and for me. So it was just a terrible idea. When he was awake, I had a great time. So I loved, the floating scarves and the bubble machines. I'm not sure he had a good time. He certainly put up with it a lot. But of course, the most important fact is that baby classes are for uh, the adults and not for the babies. So my favourite class of all was this music class we used to go to, and every week they had a different mask or dress up outfit for all the babies, and based on like the theme of the week. So I spammed my family with hundreds and hundreds of photos of James dressed up as a spaceman or as a cowboy or fairy with like a magic wand. Um, in the start, when he's a bit younger, he looks completely unbothered. By the time he's a bit older, he looks absolutely furious to be sort of bundled into another one of these costumes. Um, but like I say, I had a great time. Um, the absolute worst class for me was baby swimming. It was in our local leisure centre, which was freezing cold. The water was cold. The changing rooms were freezing. Um, the instructor was this lovely girl who was 19 or so, and she would clearly didn't really have much of an idea about what to do with, really young babies in the pool. So she would get us to just walk around in a circle in the pool holding our babies, and she would try to like sing these nursery rhymes and for us to join in. But she was 19 with no kids. She didn't know the tune or the words to like any nursery rhymes. So we would start off with like Humpty Dumpty, and then it would like segue into like Wheels on the Bus. She didn't like remember all the words. um, and I used to go to the swimming class with one of my friends from NCT who took her twin girls, and we asked one time, "Oh, are we going to do the part where you put the babies under the water?" And she was she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You can try that if you want." She's like, "It always freaks me out though when that happens." So I was like, "Oh right, well, doesn't exactly fill me with confidence." But we went, for weeks in this class. Um, And we went all through winter, and we would stand there, dripping wet in our costumes, trying to get the babies like bundled into all these different layers. My son by that point had developed quite bad eczema, so I had to put all these different creams on him before we even got onto all the different layers of clothes. And if you've never stood in a soaking wet costume in a freezing changing room trying to like bundle your 6 month old into all the different layers of clothes that they wear, then you have not lived. It is not a good situation to be in, is all I'll say about that. Um, the baby sign language, yeah, I was like, I'd seen all these TikTok videos about these babies who couldn't speak yet, but they could sign. They could sign for milk or for their bottle, or that they were hungry or they needed a new nappy. And I was completely taken in by this. I thought that looked absolutely amazing. So we signed up for this class, and there was about 2 or 3, I would say, 2-year-olds when I first started it, and I was sort of anxiously watching them, like couldn't wait to see all the things that they could, sign away at. No one could sign a single thing at all. I finished the course, but yeah, I don't know how these babies are learning sign language. I'm sure some of them do somehow, but yeah, if you are one of those mums who've got a baby who's learned baby sign language, then let me know how you did it, because I mean, obviously it exists, but I don't know how, and I've yet to see it in real life. We certainly didn't learn it from that class. That class, however, I did keep going to it because it was attached to a church, and there was these like church community group of these sort of old ladies and gents who would make cakes and coffees, and you can go buy one. So I would get this huge slab of cake and a coffee for about £1.50, and then stand there and eat it, and they would just coo over the baby. So I would just bask in that, and it was a really nice way to spend 10-15 minutes before or after the class. Um, a class I couldn't quite make my mind up about was baby massage, and I've got really mixed feelings about this because the instructor was really lovely, and she'd obviously taken a lot of time thinking about how to make the class welcoming for the mums, and how to sort of make it a little bit about the mums rather than just always about the babies. So you got like a hot drink at the end, and she incorporated some stretching poses for mums to do as well, and it was a lot about sort of mindfulness. So it was really good, but it was the only class I'd been to where I actually felt like it was kind of full of yummy mummy types. So everyone was dressed quite nice. Lots of people like sort of wearing makeup, and I arrived for every session just looking like a complete rat bag. And I kind of felt a bit excluded. People weren't very friendly. Um, I don't know if that was actually just all in my head. Um, Maybe I was in a bit of a vulnerable place, because when I was doing that, James was at one of the worst periods of his not sleeping, and people would talk about, oh, yes, I do this class. And then, little Jasper sleeps for 14 hours straight. So maybe it was just all me being bitter. I don't know, but I've signed up again, so I'll let you know how the class goes this time. Um, so those are some of my thoughts on baby classes. I'm interested to hear if people love them or hate them, if you think they're a waste of time, or if you go to them at all, or if you've got better things to do. Um, if you've got any recommendations, I'm always looking for my next baby class. I love something that gets me out of the house, so keen to try anything. If you've got any funny stories about going to baby class and disasters, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear it. And if anyone lives in Manchester, near Worsley, Roe Green, Walkton, Bolton sort of area, and wants the details of any of these classes, then let me know and I can share them. So thank you so much for listening. I hope your baby is asleep. Mine, by some miracle, has stayed asleep because I've been pacing around my bedroom recording this. And please join me again next week. We're going to be talking about bouncing back.